Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live from Beyond. My name is Kevin. I'm going to be the GM tonight. It is January 23rd, 2018, and we are playing a campaign that I call The Distant Shore. And since I'm the author, that is what it's called. It's a Cypher system game.
That's not what we call it behind your back, but...
Well, it doesn't matter because that is what it is called.
More like the distant
Regardless
suck.
of what you think it is or isn't.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, these guys are the players, but they're skating on thin ice. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves before that changes?
Yeah, I'm Aaron, and I play William Pembroke, the spy master from London, who's now riding dinosaurs, although we've all been, I don't know, like, sort of taken prisoner, but in only the most voluntary of ways.
Alright, and I'm Kim. I play Mika Reyes, formerly CIA agent, now crazy cyborg lady, and I think I might still be high on amphetamines, so that's going on.
Also, we did learn that you are a child of Uranus, so, you know, you got that going for you.
That's true, maybe.
What?
All right. Wow. And I'm Nick, and I'm playing Oliver Constantine, the Tukalawan spy, who's feeling a little out of sorts. He's feeling like maybe the recent events have hit him so hard that he can barely even remember what happened last.
Maybe he's not turning into a bear anymore. That's I don't know whether that's an upgrade or a downgrade. Maybe just a side grade.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
be a
side
grade.
grade.
Like a no direction grade.
Just maybe a B or a C or something like that. You know, one of the grades that you don't care too much about.
Woo! Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, so when last we left, you had just arrived. So we have the hex map, if you guys remember. You had just arrived in the farm area and were greeted by a large man with a Triceratops companion. Two large men, but one of them specifically that spoke to you. One of them had a Triceratops companion with a large laser gun strapped to its back, and he spoke to you. Remember the last thing that he said?
Walk this way.
So before he said that, was there like an hour and 55 minutes of other things that happened?
There were some mosquitoes. Alex found a seed.
And I got all hopped up on amphetamines.
And yeah,
I'm not sure it's worth going into detail.
Definitely took a bunch of amphetamines.
This was closely related
well.
to, because we don't have any insect spray, so, amphetamines it was.
That was the second option there.
Right.
Yeah, we trekked through
I missed it all.
we trekked through the jungle, and we went into this weird, it was just, weird flowers that smelled like,
They were more like seed pods that had fallen from the enormous trees.
oh yeah.
Smelled kind of sickeningly sweet. Alex is a doofus, so he wandered over to get a closer look. It sounded like there were birds inside of one, and there were definitely enormous insects. So he reached in and grabbed a bright red seed pod of some kind, and then we left there, and it was getting dark, so we found some questionable shelter, decided to all take turns sleeping. Mika had the first watch and was attacked by an enormous mosquito and survived by taking some speed and then shooting a bunch of mosquitoes with a laser gun.
It was Nazi speed.
Yes.
Let's just be
Yeah, Nazi speed. Yeah.
So yeah, I got all hopped up on Nazi speed and shot mosquitoes with a laser rifle.
Yeah.
Fairly uneventful.
And then we ran away. We ran away from there because there were a lot of the mosquitoes, and it was unclear what another option would be.
And I certainly wasn't going to go to bed, so...
No, Mika's never going to sleep again.
My watch is over. Your turn.
And
Mika's watch has just begun.
So then we found the large people who are definitely, cyborg type creatures and refer to themselves as the sons of Cronus or something like that. and seemed to think that Mika was in some way in charge of our little group of miscreants, and asked
She
us
is
to
the
hand
one
over our weapons.
Which I am, but
Yeah.
not in the like master-slave type of relationship. More in the, commander and subordinate type of thing.
I don't think that was how I don't think that was how things worked when we left. I don't even remember who was in charge, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Mika.
That's what
I
you
think it was the druid.
It might have been the druid. The druid might be the last person to have any kind of authority, and he may be dead. So
Maybe did what?
yeah,
Listen,
exactly. He maybe did his last thing.
cut that out. Yeah. All right. Sounds like fun. Sorry, I missed it.
So
you were there.
It is the early hours, and you guys have come upon this, these farmlands. You're talking to this guy. So he's rather large.
Listen, you don't have to call him fat.
He's not fat.
Okay.
He's jacked as fuck.
All right.
And he's like,
Johnson, or are we talking like, football player? What are we talking here? Just so we can
yeah,
get
we're talking like a John Cena, Dwayne Johnson
Okay.
plus.
All right.
He's like 20% larger than a human should be.
Okay.
Right? Like you've definitely never seen anyone this large. Like even just in height, right? Like even if he was skinny, it'd be like way too big.
So like he might have made the footprint that we found in the forest before. The like 1 to 7 foot wide footprint. Like that might be his.
No, his feet aren't quite that big.
How big are his feet?
But he does have a large number of cybernetics, right? So like one eye is like a reticle, and like his arm is like got like hunks of metal on it, and his his metal biceps. So he's like one huge human bicep, and the other one has like a what do they call it? A piston or like a servo or something sticking out of it. And he seems to only really be talking to Mika.
Does he look at all like Dwayne Johnson? Because
Like a dead ringer. Like exactly the same.
His name tag says Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Like imagine the Rock.
Dwayne The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock. The Rock. Yeah.
Let's imagine the Rock with a robot arm. You're pretty much there.
yeah.
You
All
have to
right.
imagine that? I thought that was what he was.
Yeah.
Are we living in Berenstain Bears universe now? Is that what's happened to us?
The one in which the Rock is not a cyborg.
Yeah, that's a terrible universe. I don't want to be part of it.
No, that sounds like a travesty. All right. So, anyways, he says, very well. We will take you. We'll take you into our fortress. Seeing as you are clearly a son of Cronus, but your slaves will have to give up their weapons.
Didn't we already give up our
I
weapons?
think all of us already gave up our weapons.
All right, fair enough.
We don't have any
He's
more
free.
weapons to give.
We already gave up our weapons, man.
Is Oliver giving up his weapon?
I mean,
He's not
is it more
not
fun?
giving up his weapons.
Is it more fun if I just say no?
I mean, do you want to fight Dwayne The Rock Johnson this early in the episode?
Do you remember the part where they said they have a Triceratops with a giant laser on its back?
That's true.
I mean,
But before you do anything like crazy weird and try to turn into a bear, which doesn't work, and then you get your head blasted off for the second time in this campaign.
yeah, Oliver's like, "Urgh, wait, I'm gonna get you. No, it's not working. All right, fine. Here's my gun.
Is he pooping? Is that is he okay?
If we could use the toilet once we get to the Son of Kronos fortress, that would be wonderful.
Listen, I was going to say, even if we are ranking chimeras, like dinosaur with laser is like way above man bear.
Oh,
Wait,
definitely.
what?
Dinosaur with laser ranks way higher than man bear or possibly bear man.
In like terms of what could win in a fight?
In terms of like anything positive,
I mean,
unless it's a
I can't
ranking
even
of like how
try.
shitty that thing is.
I kind of enjoyed being a bear man, but I gotta agree, a laser bearing Triceratops is like, you know,
Yeah, no, Bearman's good.
like the problem is that there wouldn't be anything cooler here than a laser bearing Triceratops if it weren't for the fact that Dwayne the Rock Johnson is here. And
Yeah.
that's like clearly the coolest thing in the scene.
Agreed.
So, anyways, if you remember, he gave his name as Gronath. Anyways, he says, "Very well, you may follow me." And he says, "What is your name?" And he, is really only talking to Mika.
Sure. I'll say, my name is Mika. Pleased to meet you.
All right.
And these are my slaves.
Sure, this is William and Oliver.
He says, "You must be tired from your journey. Please, you may ride upon my beast."
Wait.
Is that a euphemism?
This guy coming on to Mika?
Well, I don't want to be rude.
Oliver and William are like in the back, like snickering to each other. Like,
Yeah.
I say, I appreciate it, but I have plenty of energy.
oh.
But perhaps one of my companions would take.
Well,
he says companions, and he looks around.
Also, I'm like already on a dinosaur, so I'm not sure why I would change.
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
we're gonna put your dinosaur on top of his dinosaur, right?
I'm in.
He says, "There are others in your party."
Yeah, that guy, I'm pointing at William, and the guy over there, Oliver.
He says, "These are your companions?"
Say, yeah, from where I come, we don't have slaves
Anymore.
But if we did,
we tried. It didn't turn out so well.
well,
He looks confused. He says, "This is highly unusual. Are you certain?"
Say,
you want
yes.
to reconsider our social status here, Mika?
What, you want to be slaves?
No, I'm saying I think that's what he's asking you. He's like, "Are you want to reconsider your answer here?"
I was like, "Because I got a dinosaur with a laser gun strapped to it over there."
Yeah. So
does he seem like offended that I would refer to
a little bit? Yeah.
Meatbags
he seems a little
as like not property.
Yeah, he seems a little offended.
I guess, sure. I don't want to cause trouble, so I'll say, what I mean to say, they don't belong to me.
That's a bad idea. It's like a terrible idea.
But, we can get rid of them. We don't really need them, if your dinosaur gets hungry or something.
That's a vegetarian.
He nods. He says, "Agreed. All are property of Cronus." As well. Let us proceed before his eye reaches us. All right.
What?
So he begins leading you through farmland. I've expanded the map a little bit just because you guys have traveled a little bit, so you'd be able to see to the coast, which the farmland is just about on. Is there anything? Let me look if there's anything else you'd notice. So yeah, sure.
So is the I'm assuming the green arrows and stuff, that's where we started 2 sessions ago?
Yep.
Way up in the mountains where they start, yeah. And it
way up there.
Way up there.
Okay.
All right. So
the jungle and the farmland, and I guess, are we heading towards this domed structure or whatever it is?
Yep. So that is on 9-9. Near the coast, 7-10 and 8-10, you see a large number of birds circling.
Birds or like pterodactyl?
Like birds.
Can we tell him?
Or I guess you can't really tell.
I was just saying, isn't that like fairly far away?
Yeah.
I guess they'd have to be
7-10 and
big.
8-10 are like a hex or 2 hexes away from you.
How many? How far is a hex in like miles?
I don't know. I don't want to define that.
All right.
There's no advantage for me in doing that.
Well, with my sharp-eyedness and cybernetically enhanced vision, can I tell anything about these birds?
Sure. Make an intelligence check.
Is it difficulty?
We'll do 3.
Right. Well, I am trained in perception. So
Nice.
6.
Nicely done.
Bring up the puller here. Success 18. Ooh, almost got a.
All right. So, as you there are like a lot of birds, right? Like, seems to be like, if you had to guess, you'd guess like at least 40 or 50 birds, like circling around. They seem like they are probably carrion birds. And as you look, you can see that some of them are much larger than the other birds.
But we can't, from where we are, we can't like see down onto the coast what they might be circling for. Is there like a giant carcass of something there?
Yeah, you can't quite see from here. So like the farmlands are somewhat hilly, and you don't quite have a vantage point directly to the coastline from there. But to the north, around 9-7, you do see onto the plain, the grassland, and you can see in 9-7 what appears to be how would you describe this? It's pretty flat, as a grassland is. But you see some kind of
Are those not marsh? I thought that was a marsh.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, it's like a marshy grassland. I guess that's what a marsh is, right? It's got grass on it usually.
Really depends on the marsh.
I guess it depends on whether it's more like wetlands or like it could be like a dry grassy steppe, right?
No. This is like a wet grassy
marsh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, you see what appears to be I don't know how you would describe it, probably other than what looks like a graveyard, right? There seems to be like stones and some kind of monuments stuck out there on the marsh.
So again, these must be like fairly huge grave markers for us to see them.
Well, you don't know how far it is.
Oh my fucking!
Just judging by the fact that it takes us like a day to walk through one of these tiles.
Well, except some of them were like mountains, right? So it was a lot of like climbing and being careful. I don't know that like straight across a hex would actually be that much.
Yeah,
probably enough that it's still pretty remarkable that we can see things in other hexes, but like.
I'm guessing each. I might regret this, but I'm guessing each hex is probably about a mile.
Okay, everybody, write that down.
That's canon, guys.
The distant shore, a hex is a mile.
All right. Well, so I was imagining them to be like 10 or 15 miles. So
no, I would guess in the area of like a mile to 2 miles.
All right.
7 miles.
Fair enough. All right. Well, then I can understand that we could pick out a graveyard if it's like 2 miles away.
Right.
It's still pretty good, but it's not like being able to see like 30 miles and be like, yeah, you see those gravestones over there? Poor Mr. Johnson died like 3.
The volcano thing in 18.6 that we saw from the top of our original mountain?
Yeah. I think we saw that as soon as we like picked a side of the mountain to go down.
Right. And then we can see some water up to the north, I guess. And
furthermore, in so there is a marsh and there's a swamp. If you guys see 11-7, to the northeast in 11-7, you see what looks like the ruins of some kind of structure. They look in like you would say extreme disrepair.
A still modern-ish structure, or
No.
kind of old stone ruin?
Yes, something like that.
Like as we're walking, if I spot this, I'll ask, what's his face, Garnock, or I was gonna write down his name. What's his name?
It is Grunath.
Granath.
Son of
Okay.
Chalupa.
So I say, Granath, what is that structure out there to the I guess that would be east, assuming that this map is oriented in like south way.
All right. So as he peers out, he kind of shakes his head. He says, "It is the site of a great event. Many of my brothers finally felt the gaze of Cronus upon them there."
How long ago was this?
He says, "It has been several weeks, perhaps a moon."
Really? And what great event was this? Kind of attack? A battle?
He says, "A worthy battle. I regret only that I could not be there myself."
Sorry to hear that. I guess.
Yeah. He says, "Yes. Thank you. We have sung many songs of their deeds. But there are a few of us left now. I think it will not be long before we all finally must stand and meet his gaze."
Say, why is that? Who's attacking you?
So I think this guy just met you, even though you're like clearly a trustworthy person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's ready to give that up. So it's gonna be a difficulty 4 intelligence.
I mean, he already prepositioned her. Like, what more does he want?
And she turned him down.
Difficulty 4 intelligence. Okay.
Can I like help him here in any way?
Sure, go ahead.
What are you gonna do, slave?
Well, okay. So I meant a little bit more mechanically before I go into the narratively. Like I don't know. I don't remember how helping works or.
If you do something that is helpful to him, then it will help him make it.
Because like Oliver's whole thing is how empathetic he is. I have a bunch of skills in terms of like getting a hunch about people or like kind of sensing their emotions. So like I'd gladly lean over to Mika and be like, Mika, I think you know, if you ask him a bit more about like his brother, he'll open up some. But like I don't know if that's true.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
Well, I was
so
gonna
I
say.
don't know how
I see.
how
Okay.
this works.
So
like,
you
I
would
can
like
use my
to
skills
you would
to
like
get-
to read him.
Yeah, I'd
yourself.
like to kind of like read him
Okay.
and then be like, "Hey, Mika, here's my reading."
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, you can give me a difficulty 3, intelligence check. This is to read him to determine his disposition.
All right. Well, I literally have a skill called discern disposition. So
Wow.
I think I'm going to use that.
Yeah. Okay, that counts.
Yep.
Maybe.
Um,
I'll give you half.
so that's a 2. Whatever. I'll roll it with a 2. Let's. 1.
It
Nope,
seems
didn't
you
work.
still have much to learn.
Swing on
I don't know.
this.
I didn't feel like spending points this early on. I probably have like a billion of them. So whatever.
That's all right. Anyways, this man is clearly like pretty foreign to you. You're not quite like in tune with his, motivations yet. So it's kind of hard for you to like put your finger on exactly is his position.
I gotta read a couple more folks around here before I can.
Let me see if I can keep him talking, and maybe you can get a better sense of him. So, I was gonna say, my check is difficulty 4. You said, right? I was gonna say, Mika, as a special agent, somebody who's been deployed out there, had to make contacts, groom information sources, and that kind of stuff is not entirely unskilled and untrained in having to kind of make friends out of strangers. And I would say she could probably put some of that CIA training to work here.
All right, so it's that like you have a job and you've met people?
Well, I mean,
essentially, right? I was
the job of a spy kind of entails being able to gain confidence.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Sure.
Go on. How many times does James Bond just admit straight up who he is, and people still trust him and tell him everything he asks? So, like, come on.
And he says who he is in like the most untrustworthy way possible. Like, no one says like their last name, right? That's a weird fucking thing. But for some reason, like immediately, right? Like no one would say that, and you'd be like, "You're weird," and I don't know how to react to you. But instead, everyone's like, "Oh, you."
Here's my master plan. / I'm gonna sleep with you.
No, but look, like she's obviously, before she got assigned to like this crazy ass assignment, or I don't know, however she got involved. She was deployed out in she was a field agent. She had to make contact. She had to gain people's trust as part of being a spy. She's got her spycraft.
All right.
I mean, we trust you now, Mika. So
all right, and then I'll spend 2 intellect points with my 1 edge to bump it down to a 2, and cross my fingers and hope that I roll better.
Should have just given myself 3 edge and intellect, and then I could just constantly.
Success. 14.
All right. So he kind of grits his teeth. Oh, your question was what exactly?
So the question was who they were fighting, I believe, or who it is that they're who's attacking them. But I guess there was a follow up to
dying off.
Why he thinks they're gonna extinct.
He says there are great enemies. They've tracked us from many lands, and finally, when we came to rest here, they also came. They are not from this place.
Around how many hexes would you say you had to traverse with them following you?
Say, what do you mean they're not from this land? Can you describe them?
He kind of grimaces. He says, they are disgusting creatures, dark and foul. They carry with them a darkening of the light of the universe.
Did they have skulls on their helmets? Just to check real quick.
He says, the place they are from, I do not think it even has light. They're creatures of darkness.
Curious. We arrived in this land chasing a great evil as well, so.
He says, truly.
Wow. This guy's really coming on to you hard, Mika.
Tell me.
He likes my giant cybernetics.
Yeah.
All right.
Massive circuit boards.
I've got smooth servos.
Oh boy.
I'm a little frightened.
You should be. I say perhaps if you will educate us about this land, we can help each other.
Says trade. Very well. We do not get many outsiders here. Those that we do seem far more confused than you.
A lot of strange things have happened to me, or a little band here, but I guess we've learned to take it all in stride.
He says, but you are certain you are... How shall I put this? He's like clearly like looking at your like cybernetics.
But what's his question though? Certain that I'm what? Robot?
He says, you have received the rights of Cronus, have you not? Forgive me.
Say, you'll have to.
The rights of Cronus are a little different where we come from, but it's all roughly the same.
As long as it's the same, you know.
I asked him
like in my place, we might not believe that the circuit board is really a circuit board, but it's like a representation of the circuit board, so it's like all kind of the same thing.
I ask him. I say, you mean that I'm, cybernetic like you, pointing at his giant robotic arm.
Oh, damn. These guys keep ending their sentences so wrong.
He says, indeed, but yours appear much younger. I remember when I first received the rights, it looked much like you do. So as you look at him, you can tell that like his cybernetics are like pretty aged.
You mean
right?
like they just look well worn, or they look like outdated, if that makes any sense?
It looks like they've had a lot of non-standard maintenance. Right, there's clearly things like jimmied onto them and like.
But is there anything about it that looks like, I don't know, like for lack of a better comparison, is this like looking at like steampunk cybernetics? Is it like cybernetics if like some totally different kind of technology made them, or they just look old?
No, it looks like cybernetics, but like clearly parts have been replaced and like things are there that like, there's things like wired in and like,
mismatched armor plates and stuff like that.
Mismatched stuff. Yeah.
I say, I'll be honest. My gifts, my enhancements are quite new.
This is curious. We must speak on this later. But my gifts have seen many battles. But like I said, they may not see many more.
Well, I hope that's not true. I hope we can help each other out. Seem like decent folk.
Oh, sorry. A question. Can I at least discern when he asks Mika about whether or not she's actually like received the rights of Cronus or whatever? Does he seem like distrustful if the answer is no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will give you that because you are trained in discerning dispositions.
I am very trained in discerning disposition. Okay.
I'll
yeah. He seems like a little yeah, he seems concerned. Like if she has not received the rights of Cronus, then like
yeah. He's like making a mistake and this is not a good situation.
Right.
Okay.
All right, I'll kind of like drop back a little bit. Join
the mounted William.
Okay, sure.
I'll say, what do you guys make of this? Trying to, I guess, keeping out of earshot of our guardians.
I say, your new friend's a bit hard to read, but seems nice enough, I guess. I mean, hasn't killed us yet, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure we should go on lying to him about all this Cronus stuff, without really understanding what we're saying.
So, yeah, well, I guess I figure I didn't want to upset him too much, until we at least get a bit of rest and a solid meal.
Agreed.
Also, they don't, or it seems that these technological enhancements are the norm here. Yeah, it doesn't seem too fond of the two of you.
Agreed. Seems to be some kind of warrior aristocracy.
Either way, play it cool and we'll see where it leads.
So as you guys pass through the farmland, you can see that there are like people working the fields. They don't appear to be like outwardly cybernetic.
Right.
Indeed.
I guess the assumption, since he assumed that the two of you were slaves, I imagine there are a slave caste here.
Yeah, maybe.
What is it they're growing, by the way? Did I ask that?
It seems to be like some kind of grain, right? It's not anything you recognize specifically, but some kind of
Are there like overwatchers out there or anything like that, keeping these people in line, or are they just kind of doing their jobs?
not really. They just seem to be doing their jobs.
Well, I'll say, well, if there's anything you want me to ask this guy, let me know.
I'm certainly intrigued by the discussions that he had about the enemies, the great enemies, but I don't think he's likely to continue talking about that. So we'll wait and see what more develops.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Getting in a meal and some rest is probably best, because it's going to take some time to really earn his trust.
Indeed.
Okay. So as you guys, round the top of a hill, you can see up ahead there is this silver dome, nestled between two hills further up, that he seems to be leading you basically directly towards, as you reach like a what seems like a road.
By the way, the people in the fields, what
Uh-huh.
what like level of technology would you say they were using to work the fields?
They seem to be pretty basic. They're like not using machinery; they're using like hand tools and stuff.
All of them are holding pumpkin spice lattes. Very basic.
They've got finely
Ugly.
minted scarves. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, we'll just follow him wherever he leads.
Okay, sure. So he says, so might I ask where you're from? Is Kronos well known?
Well, as I said, it's quite far from here. You might go by another name there.
He looks at you. He says, when you say quite far, you mean from the stars?
I'm not sure I can say that with certainty.
What an answer.
He says, I was not born in this place, you know.
Where did you come from? From the stars?
He sort of like gazes up. He says, it's been many, many years. My memory fades. But the tales they tell us, they seem true.
Did your people choose to come here, or were you stranded?
He says, there was a great battle, and our ship fell from the sky. You can still see it poking through the forest to the north.
Henry?
Yeah, I think it's probably those crazy ruins.
It's the thing that's up in the lake or something, I think. We saw like a ship-looking thing that was crashed into the lake. when we were up on the mountain.
Oh, did we?
The lake up north.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
So it's not the ruins.
No.
Oh, because he
The
said
ruins?
the ruins were like stone. They weren't.
Yeah.
They don't. You can't quite make them out from
I
here.
think they're pretty
don't
far.
appear
I
to be,
mean,
like metallic.
okay, that's
The
fair.
ruins.
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely check that out at some point, but not right now.
Okay. So as you continue to travel, you see the clearly you're approaching some kind of population center. It's not that it's so a lot of it seems to be a large dome, but there are like some kind of scattered village around it. If you had to guess, you'd maybe say a couple thousand people might inhabit this place, depending on how densely packed the dome is. You're not really sure.
What about the dome itself? What is it seem to be made out of, or like how old does it look?
So it looks the dome itself is it looks pretty immaculate. It seems to be just like a silvery dome. It's not quite like a mirrored finish, but it doesn't seem to have any real imperfections that you can tell.
So he referred to this as a fortress, right?
Mhm.
Does it have like visible defenses?
Not that you can see. Like so, basically, it looks like just like a silver dome, like more or less like a ball bearing stuck into the ground, and there are sort of roads leading into it, and or at least one road leading into it, and outside of the dome, you can see what looks like some kind of small town.
Okay.
Should ask him where the dome came from.
The people we see, are we seeing more people with like cybernetic enhancements, or is it just more of the farmer?
You haven't seen anybody else with cybernetic enhancements yet. All right. Is there anything you guys want to do while you journey? You good? Okay. All right. So as you approach the town, you can see you do see your the first other person with cybernetics. They appear much as Granath appears. They're very large. They don't appear particularly. They're not like they look old. They have like blonde hair. They have like cybernetics, and they look like they're not in tip-top shape. They're not in mint condition, right?
Are there more dinosaurs?
Yeah. So you see dinosaurs around. People seem to be using them as sort of pack animals from time to time. Most of them seem to be like more docile varieties of dinosaurs. Yeah.
Like a dinosaur tie outside the saloon.
You don't see many people using dinosaurs as steeds. More like beasts of burden at most.
Okay. Well, I guess we just
Okay.
follow the guy.
Yeah,
Sure.
Granath lead the way.
All right. So as there seem to be like two men standing guard that you see that have cybernetics near the borders of the town, and he steps up. He like extends his hand forward, and they clasp hands, and he says, "May you meet his gaze with honor." And they like repeat the same to him, and they look to you, and like they look sort of suspiciously at you, and they like sort of talk to Granath for a minute. Before he like waves you on.
All right. Yeah. Proceed in silence if everybody's cool with that.
Okay. So as you enter the town, you can see it's mostly seems to be like a medieval type tech. Although the guys standing guard like clearly have like laser rifles. The other people like sort of eye you suspiciously as you pass. They seem to be relatively normal looking people. They're not as large as Granath and his the other friends, and they seem to be going about their business. Though you do get more than a few looks.
So it's like there's definitely like two types of people here, like
Yeah,
half giants
absolutely.
with cybernetic enhancements, and then like normal looking folks, I guess. down.
Basically. Every once in a while, you see a piece of like rundown tech that is, clearly like not medieval in origin, but mostly not.
Run down like what kind of tech? Like something that we can recognize as a corollary to technology we would understand, or just like something clearly not medieval?
At least your level of tech, right?
Okay.
Right, like there's like outside the market, there's like a some kind of machine with like a cracked video screen that is, displaying some kind of text that you can't understand.
Okay, so that kind of like things
What does
that
it
we
say?
can at least understand, sort of.
I have Babel. Like, understanding languages is just kind of my thing.
Fuck.
What is the price of grapefruit?
It
need to
says
know.
it says like insert
7.
coin here, and you see below
7.
it that it's just
Right.
one of those little horses that the kids ride outside the grocery store.
I'll take 3 grapefruit at 7, but not
Okay.
a penny more.
What's a penny?
I want you to let him know.
All right. He reaches a building. And he says, "Your slaves may stay here while we journey on." He says they will be well taken care of.
That sounds entirely reasonable. Are you comfortable with that, Mika?
Are you comfortable with it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, Oliver's like looking between the two of you, like what the fuck is wrong with you? But he daren't speak.
What kind of a building are we at that they're suggesting leaving us at?
It looks like some kind of an inn.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I'll say, you guys find out whatever you can here. I'll report back soon, I hope.
Indeed.
Is there a stable for William's steed?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
So yeah, so you guys, step away, and he says, "See the man inside. He will grant you quarter."
Do you
Quarters.
use currency here? Is that something with which we need to be concerned?
He like looks at Mika and he says, "Have you given him leave to address me?"
Say, yes.
Oh god.
He squints. He says,
He simply does not want to cause any trouble. No. We realize we are guests here. Worried that he might have to pay.
He says, "The man will not trouble you. Now go."
On with you. Good
Right,
boys.
listen, if we don't have to pay William, we should ask for like the best room in the house with the jacuzzi and everything. You're like,
have
yeah.
a sneaking
Granat
suspicion
said it was okay.
that, there's no difference between literally any of the rooms in the house. Very well. Take care of yourself, Mika. Granath, don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
Granat kills you for your.
I quickly say, let's get going.
That is
You
a
kinda like-
traditional farewell among our
Don't
people.
listen to them.
They're jokesters, Granath. Okay. So he kind of like grumbles, but he turns away and leads you away, Mika. So what are you guys doing since we've been since Mika's been the star here for a second?
Let's see William and Oliver's adventure at the inn.
Well, so
I
Go
would like to
ahead.
get the dinosaur taken care of so that we can, do stuff without riding around on a ankylosaurus for the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So as you like lead your creature over into the rather sizable stables, like the stable hand like sort of like gasps. Says,
Are you quite all right?
He says, "My God, is that one of theirs?"
I don't know who them are, but I'm going to assume, based on your facial countenance, that yes, it is one of theirs.
He says, "Well, do you want us to take it off?"
Do you have a full idea of what this animal would do if you took it off?
He shakes his head. He says, "I'm not sure.
Well,
I've never
then
seen one survive before."
perhaps it's best that you not take it off.
He says, "It looks to be in such pain, though."
Oh, you should have seen it a day or two ago.
He sort of grimaces. He says, "Where did you find it?"
It was at the bottom of a pit, wandering around in circles, or I suppose the bottom of a mountain. It depends on your perspective. But either way,
Nice.
it seemed to have killed perhaps both of its former companions, but that did not in any way assuage its pain. In fact, it seemed to have caused it rather more. So I found it, and I'm familiar with animals, so I discovered from it that it was thirsty and hungry and tired, and have done my best to provide for those needs.
So he sort of like, as you said that he turns and glances towards the mountains, and he says, "You met Drac near the mountains?"
Again, I have no idea who Drac are, but if you mean did we meet the people who previously owned this animal near the mountains, then yes.
He says, "Nasty creatures, mutants."
They were already dead when we met them, so it would be difficult for me to discern any nastiness about them except for their smell.
And did you discern a nasty smell?
Yeah, no, they didn't smell good. They'd been rotting for a while.
All right.
He says, "This is most troubling. I'm not sure how much longer the Suns will be able to protect us."
I was going to ask about that. What exactly is the relationship between you and the Suns?
Relationship?
You
What do you
speak
mean?
of them as protectors.
Yes, I suppose so.
And now you seem hesitant.
Well, they are the chosen of Cronus. I don't quite understand. What is it you're trying to ask?
I'm asking how long they've protected you, what they protect you from, what they ask in exchange for their protection.
He seems like a bit surprised by your question. Says, "What they ask? They ask for nothing.
That's wonderful.
They get only what they're due as our progenitors."
They are your forefathers.
So the legends say.
I see. Are the legends written down, or are they transmitted orally?
Yeah, I guess you could say oral.
Indeed. And where do the storytellers reside?
I don't think I understand. Any man may tell a story.
Yes, but you mentioned the legends.
Right.
Presumably this is a body of wisdom literature, which is not simply passed on by your average farmhand to his father, but indeed is kept by some group who tell the stories of your people.
He says, "Well, we all tell them, of course."
And from whom do you learn them?
He says, "Well, I learned from my dad,
Ah, I see.
and him
So
from
it is
his father,
elders.
and so on and so on."
Ah, well, that's disappointing.
How long has it been since the Suns came, and how many generations have you been telling the legends?
I wouldn't know, sir. I'm sorry. I know at least my grandfather was not a direct descendant, but somewhere along the line, I assume.
And out of character, what hair color does he have?
It's just like a regular, like brownish hair color.
Indeed. And we have not seen any female sons of Cronus?
You've only seen 3 or
Okay.
4, I guess. Yeah, I guess Grodoth had a companion with him. We kind of forgot about him, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but
None of
as
them
far
have.
as I can remember, all
None
of
of
them.
them are female.
Well,
Okay.
though Greneth certainly didn't seem surprised by the concept of Mika being a
He did
son of
not.
Cronus,
No.
right? So I mean,
it's not. I don't think that they're like Amazons, but if there don't happen to be any women left, then that would make potentially problematic the current
Sure.
iteration of the origin story.
Sure.
Anyway, so much as this conversation is enlightening, do you feel comfortable taking care of my mount while we talk with the innkeeper and settle our affairs?
He says, "Certainly, sir. But I'm not sure how much I can do for him." He glances on the side. He says, "Or her."
I will say her.
Okay.
We just never really said that because I went back and forth. I assume that you have fodder and that you have water and that you have a place for her to rest.
He nods. He says, "I do, but will she eat without you here, sir?"
There's only one way to find out, and I won't be far for the moment, as I simply need to go inside of the inn. We shall see. If she will not eat while I am away, then I will return while she eats.
No, you know that she basically doesn't do anything without you telling her to do it.
Indeed. And can I leave a queue of instructions, or do I have to constantly be providing every single indication to her?
You're not quite sure. She seemed to follow your instructions, as long as you've been with her.
Well, my instructions are to eat, drink, and rest.
Okay. Yeah. So the creature begins to eat. Yeah. It's like a pile of hay. It starts to eat.
Very good. I suppose call for us if there seems to be an issue.
He nods.
Well, Oliver, shall we see what's going on in the inn?
Yes. Definitely.
After you, my friend.
All right. Oliver steps away towards the door of the inn.
Okay, so you step into the inn. It's morning-ish still, maybe early or late morning, and there's people there. There's some people seem to be eating or drinking. What do you want to do here?
Oh well, so I mean, which kind of inn are you talking about? You're talking like we walk in and there's like a tavern and tables and
Seems to be mostly
folks.
a tavern. Yeah. Judging by the size of the structure and what you're seeing in front of you, there might be a few rooms, but it seems to mostly be.
And you said there's people here. Are there like a lot of people or?
Not that many. It definitely seems like at a pretty low percent of its capacity.
Okay. I mean, it's early in the day. I was just going to be a
Right.
little surprised. Well, I suppose we don't want to be rude. I mean, we might want to talk to some folks, but I guess we should go straight to the innkeeper and not darken his doorway without giving our hello.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you guys can talk to the innkeeper real quick, and he will confirm that you have lodgings available.
What does he seem like? Is he just like boring innkeeper who just cares about his affairs or whatever?
He doesn't seem particularly like, having come from a place that is more or less medieval before this. He wouldn't seem out of place in that world.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I would look around. Anybody there look? Anybody stand out from the crowd? Anybody look either particularly alone or anybody engaged in any like interesting conversations?
So most of the people who are here now seem like they're alone, right? There's a few people drinking, in either very loose groups, out of probably no affiliation, but other than proximity.
Okay.
So there's
anybody?
not really any conversation going on.
Doesn't seem to be much like debate or.
Anybody here look particularly old?
There are some people that definitely appear older than Granath, for sure. Right, like the innkeeper for one is a little bit older. There's a guy drinking at the bar, and he seems his hair is white, and he's.
All right, I tap William, and I say perhaps. Or I say, perhaps that's a good place to start. I'm not Irish. I don't know what just happened. I said perhaps that's a good place to start for listening to the legends. While I recalibrate.
Sounds like a good idea. Would you like to take the lead, or would you like me to discuss with him?
I want you to talk to him. I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna watch him and see what I think.
Oliver likes to watch.
Yeah, I do. I like to
Well,
watch.
all right. Yeah. So William will wander over and grab a seat next to the old chap at the bar, and indicate to the barkeep, an ale or whatever filth they're drinking here.
Sure. Okay. They bring you a glass of something.
What's it
Seems
like?
to be some kind of grain alcohol.
Oh, perfect. So William will sip on this delicious beverage. And is it distilled or is it brewed? Yep. Okay, distilled.
It's distilled. It seems to be some kind of
okay.
rustic grain alcohol.
And so he'll say, "Greetings, friend."
He kind of looks at you for a second, and as he looks at you, just like a shiver runs down your spine, and he says, "Hello. How can I help you, master?"
I was wondering whether you could tell me some of the legends of your people.
He says, "The legends. You don't know the legends, boy."
No, you see, I'm from rather far away.
He says, "You are, aren't you? How far exactly?"
I would say worlds and worlds away.
He says, "A traveler. Seen your kind before."
Just so.
He says, "So where is it?"
The world from whence I have come?
He nods.
The way to get there from here is not entirely clear, which is part of the difficulty.
He laughs. He says, "Of course. And now you want to get back. I've heard it before, but tell me, where you came from, what's it like?"
Well, where we came from or where we originally came from? Because that's some different shit.
I think he knows quite well what he's asking.
Yeah, I know.
It is... Perhaps I would say closer to the sons of Cronus than to you, but not quite so grotesque.
He nods. He says, "Interesting. Well, can't say I could help you much. The sons of Cronus can't say they'd help you much either. I do, however, know of a place that might be of interest to you. Across the bay is a tower. You could see it from the beach. I don't think it's from here either."
Indeed. What causes you to think that it's from elsewhere?
Strange writing on the walls. I wasn't born when it came, but it's been there for a long time.
And he's speaking, I assume, of the south direction.
He's actually, he's not. But
I mean, I guess we could just walk to the shore and look. Because
right.
You can ask him. He says it's to the east.
To the east of here. I see. And the sons of Cronus, how controlling are they of all that goes on here?
He shrugs. He says, "Controlling might not be the right word, friend. Look around you. What else do these people have?"
I'm rather unconcerned with their lives and more with my ability to move as I desire.
He says, "No one here will test them. What would they do? Should they step out of line? I can't say. Can't imagine they're afraid of bloodshed."
And one of them spoke of some kind of great enemy that's been systemically destroying them.
He nods. He says, "Yes, it's true."
Is that enemy your enemy as well?
He says, "Well, it seems like they'll be the death of us all. Can't say I'm in favor of that plan."
Has that enemy actually destroyed any of you, or only the sons of Cronus?
He says, I haven't seen them. Haven't seen them for a very long time myself, but I don't think they'd hesitate to murder me and my friends.
Very interesting. But you did see them when you were younger.
I did.
Could you describe them to me?
Can't do that, sir.
Not possible or not preferred?
He says, ain't much to look at. When I say that, I mean, can't really see them very well. It's like a blur in your vision. Something that isn't there, but should be.
Intriguing. Very well. I appreciate
Anyways, I expect they may not be the actual problem when it comes down to killing. They've got minions.
the Drac.
Some say used to be men. Not anymore.
You're referring to the Drac?
Well, sort of a collective term, but yes.
The Drac is a collective term, or
He nods. He says yes.
indeed. And the Sons of Cronus, do they also fight the Drac, or do they mostly concern themselves with the things that are not there?
Well, like I said, they're both Dracs, sir. But yes.
I see. I understand. Do the things that are not the Drac for collective purposes, are they from this world, or are they travelers as well?
Can't rightly say. I guess travelers, but from where?
So
Well-
so Oliver's gonna, like, I don't know, step forward from the other side of William and say, hello, friend. I'm Oliver Constantine from Tukalau. Nice to meet you.
He says, your friend has a funny voice.
You have no idea. These
Wait, he's
Last
fine with a British
colonists.
accent?
Yeah, he's medieval.
We're in some
Yeah.
foreign land. They all have British accents.
Besides, he has fought against great enemies, and all great enemies have this accent. It's how the guy in the stables knew that I was Drac as well.
Wait, so, alright, whatever.
This is the exact accent that Nazi that Mika talked to had.
No, it's just the idea that, you know, any resemblance to alternate dimension medieval and real world British is, you know, mere coincidence.
Yes.
Anyway, I like, you know, ignore what he's saying to William because I've heard it before, and I say, friend, these travelers that you say you've seen, what happened to them?
They're a restless sort. So I haven't seen very many. One or two come through, but they never stay long.
But where do they go?
Kind of shrugs. Says, maybe they made it home.
Oh, well, I mean, I want to go home.
Well, if you don't have any more questions, Oliver,
No, I just wanted to know how he felt about those other travelers. But
no, I think it was a worthwhile question to ask. Do you know whether there's anyone in the village who could take us to the tower that you describe?
He says, most folk won't likely want to travel there. But
is it
I
dangerous?
need one.
what's that?
I only need one.
He says, I doubt you'll find. I doubt you find many that'll travel in that direction.
Again,
Is it?
I only need one.
Yeah.
Don't really need an entire
Don't need
group.
many.
Don't need many. Don't need most. Just need one idiot. Young idiot, maybe. That they
well,
tend to be the kind.
You said your question was what? Oh, you just need an idiot. He says, I don't know anyone, sir.
Is the trip dangerous to walk in that direction?
He says, of course. The opposite shore is It's their territory.
I see. So it requires crossing a body of water. Are there any sorts of conveyances?
It says a few of the folks have fishing boats. I'm sure you could arrange for one with your connections.
Indeed.
I say, you say
So
the
you could
side
always,
of the.
you could always go by foot.
Could always go by-
Although you said you could always go by foot, although it's certainly more dangerous.
So I ask him. I say, you say the other side of the other side of the bay. I'm
See the
tired.
other side of the
The other side of the bay.
And now we've gone full Scottish.
I say, you say the other side of the bay is their territory, but the structure over there, is it? I've lost it just 100%. I'm too tired.
That's all right. Just
I don't know where we are now. The structure over there, is it related to the Drac?
He nods. He says, "I've never been up close, but I doubt it."
So they just happen to run that area. You don't think that's something to do with them?
Sorry, sir. I don't really know.
All right.
All right. Do you guys want to ask him anything else?
no. I mean, I
Do you have
think
a
we've
wife?
got.
Do you have a wife?
Yeah. Does he have a wife?
Yeah.
Does he have kids?
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Shall
Alright,
we
so
get back
we
over to
wish-
Mika?
Yeah.
Alcohol.
So Mika, you reach this dome, and you can see that there's where it meets the ground is kind of a seam of some kind, like it's clearly a structure.
Mhm.
And as the road which thins into a path leads directly up to it, you see what the border with the ground rises into an arch that seems to lead inside. And outside you can see several more of these sons of Kronos standing there on guard.
All right.
Okay.
I just
So,
follow along. I guess I'll try as much as possible to like take everything in, but I'll go wherever Granath leads.
Sure. So as you walk inside, the structure is quite dense inside. It's filled with like machinery. You can see people walking around. So there are two basically kinds of people inside. There are people that are like basically look human in very simple, you would guess, kind of maybe ceremonial dress, and they're all like bald, and they seem to just sort of like walk around. Some of them are performing like tasks, like fixing things, or other menial type labor. But inside is very like very technological in a very like rundown sense, right? So a lot of iron walkways or steel walkways that seem aged. Steam will burst out of here or there as you walk through. It's quite dense, right? Almost like not dissimilar to the inside of a submarine, right? Like when you pass other people, like you are passing like right next to them. It's not like a spacious place at all.
Does it? Excuse me. Does it strike me as like this whole thing? I guess I'm wondering if this is all like salvaged from their spaceship or something like that. Does it have the feeling of that? I guess.
Give me an intelligence check. This can be difficulty 6.
Christ.
You got this. I believe in you.
Damn. I really can't help
I
you
don't
with
even
that.
like. I don't even want to burn to intellect points, and I'm not sure I have anything that would, give me any bonuses in,
What would
spaceship
prepare one for this?
identification. If I roll a 20, do I automatically succeed?
Well, it's 6, so
Yeah.
if you roll an 18, 19, or a 20,
Oh
you
yeah,
get it, right?
6.
So also, I mean, you've probably seen the X-Files.
Yeah. Does
So I mean,
that
come on.
work?
Combine your like government agency.
Mika has watched Star
expertise
Wars like several
and-
times.
Yeah.
Mika
government-
actually worked at Area 51 for like at least 2 years, so Mika's
was
like
an
really
alien.
prepared for this. Mika, it turns
Well,
out,
like-
is an alien.
You've seen what happens when a government agent can like open their mind to the possibilities, specifically of things like this. So like, come on.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Well,
say no. on that one.
Yeah, I had a suspicion. I rolled
All
a
right.
15. If I'd had one, I should have spent those points.
Should have spent the points.
That's true.
Oh
That's
well,
true.
because
Nope,
like
realizing.
this place is neat.
All right,
I
so
have no idea.
Mika's like, did you guys get this from your submarine? And they're like,
These submarines did you use to make this place?
seems like a tremendous waste of submarines. All right, so he continues to lead you through. Before you climb upstairs, you go down a corridor through some slightly larger rooms, but like still like submarine sized, right? Like there's like a commissary or something where you see some of the people eating, but it's not like it's absolutely not spacious.
Oh.
And it's also quite warm in here. Granath does not seem to really notice, but the other people seem to be like sweating, and you see more of these other people you can't really quite place. He sort of he glances to you and he says, "Is this unfamiliar to you?"
To be quite honest,
Not dog. We have 10 of these submarines back home.
yeah, I have to say that it is.
He nods. He says, "I suppose it is. Well, I guess you'll see." He stops. He says, "I am. I think I will leave you here." And he sort of like approaches one of the people that is like bald, and kneels before them and says, "My lord, this woman has come to meet you. Will you see her? She seeks an audience. Will you see her?" And the bald person just kind of nods and like waves you not to her but like on.
Okay. These bald people, they're also big, like half giants,
No.
whatever it is. No,
No.
they're regular sized. Did they have cybernetics?
Nope. They all are basically dressed the same way, very like simple like gray clothing.
All right. Say, how do you do?
The person in front of you does not like really respond. They sort of like turn and start walking.
All right, I'll follow, I guess.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to do while you're following, or?
I said
Yes.
I'll just kind of keep an eye out. I do have, I guess, I mean, I just want to keep at it, like an eye out for any hint as to these people's origins, I guess. Markings, writing that I might be able to understand.
The plaque on the wall that says "Made in China."
Yeah, I mean, so you see there are things written down, like, but it mostly seems like more or less like industrial, like like steam vent, like in an arrow, and like near an edge of a ledge. I guess it wouldn't probably be ledges, but like a sign over the one of the bulkheads that says like like watch your head or something like that. And it looks like pretty old and like grimy. But yeah.
There's no like nothing that would indicate a name.
No, not really. So you see other people that are like I guess we're calling them the sons of Kronos. By the way, there are some that are women. More of them are men than women, but there are some.
How does everybody react to me?
They don't seem to really be reacting too much. Everybody seems to basically be ignoring you. So the bald people are like flat out 100% ignoring you. They don't even like look at you. So as you're walking through one of the rooms, it seems to be some kind of medical / repair facility, and you can see some of the sons of Kronos with are sort of like sitting there with as several of these servitors kind of work on them, whether that's extracting liquids from their bodies with large syringes or welding pieces onto them or something or whatever, like things like that.
All right.
All right. So after not too long, you come to the person in front of you sort of stops and like waves their hand forward, and you can see beyond is a much larger chamber.
I enter.
Okay, so as you walk in, you see it's quite large. In fact, it seems to be basically the size of like a football stadium, right? It's really big.
Sure.
And in the center, you can see that there is some kind of thing there, like it looks so it looks almost like a figure standing there, and around it there are several of these robed servitors.
Does it seem like I'm supposed to go over there to this figure?
Yeah, it's like directly in the center of this very round, large chamber.
I'll walk over towards the figure.
Okay, so yeah, as you approach it, it's like a football stadium size, so it's pretty far. You can see that it's on a raised dais, and that it appears to be some kind of figure lodged in what appears to be like a large piece of machinery, right? So there's like machinery that kind of comes up, and then what appears to be like, I guess, the torso of a man, extending from the top of this mound.
The rest of this room, are the walls just like plates of steel?
Basically, yeah.
And otherwise it's empty except for this dais in the middle.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that's sort of noteworthy is the ground is like dirt in this room.
Okay. The rest of the place, I imagine it was metallic floors?
Yep, and you're sort of going up and going down through this warren of, bulkheads and corridors.
All right. I'll approach.
So as you approach, one of the servitors like sort of steps forward and says, "You may kneel."
All right. I'll kneel.
So she says, "You have shown great deference, though I'm sure you are confused. I appreciate that."
I say, well, I wouldn't want to cause any offense.
Sure. So as you're pretty close to this figure in machinery, and you can see that as you look up, it's a man. He seems quite aged and quite muscular, like he once had large muscles that have now sort of deteriorated. His skin is kind of like sagging. But he has like brilliant blonde hair, and you can see like tubes coming out of him and stuff, and his head kind of like lolls to one side.
And does he say anything or?
No, he doesn't seem to be like moving, although his eyes appear to be like at least half open.
And he's like alive. And like,
I mean, there are machines that are like pumping stuff into him or out of him.
Does it seem like there's life in his eyes though? Like,
No, not really. I mean, maybe hard to tell.
I guess I'll kind of look
He's not like
questioningly
Dave.
at the servitors in a like, okay, what now type of glance.
They
No,
say,
what do I do?
well, you wished an audience. Speak your piece.
Say, hey,
Hey,
I'm Mika.
hey.
Hear me roar.
Right. So the servitor says, "I am Heltor."
Does it seem like he's speaking on behalf of the, I don't know, Gene dude?
Essentially, right. So when you look towards the servitor who is speaking, they sort of like guide your eyes with their hand back towards the figure in the middle.
Does the forgot what
All right.
sorry, so he says he's Heltor. Does the servitor seem like connected to this guy?
Not in any physical way. There's not like a extension cord running from this man to the servitor.
Well, as I was wondering whether he was like hardwired to this dude. I guess they could still be connected via some wireless signal.
The Wi-Fi.
Well, I say I'm very pleased to meet you, Haltor.
Do you know the Wi-Fi password, Heltor?
If I could just get connected, I'm out of data. So
My Google Maps is not working anymore, and that's a real problem for me because this is a new planet, and so I don't really know where I am.
All right. Sorry. Your question was?
Well, yeah, I say, pleased to meet you. I was brought here by the guard, the Ganache or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
He says, "Yes, I know." He says,
He just told me.
I was hoping I could find out some more about this place.
He says, "You come seeking, but what do you have to offer?"
Honestly, not much.
Not any more amphetamines. That's all gone.
I come from a distant land. I'm afraid that all that I have is what you see.
He says, or the servitor says, "Very well, yet I believe you may still be of service."
As Garnash said, you guys are facing an enemy. We came here chasing someone, another enemy. Perhaps we can help each other.
He nods. He says, "Very well. If you grant me your boon, I will grant you mine."
Oh, these people move real fast around here.
They let's hear it.
He says, many of my sons have fallen in battle recently, and I do not know that we will see the next moon. But should we cannot allow the resources which my fallen brothers have left behind
What can I do to help?
to go to waste.
Okay. I was always wondering where the end of that sentence was. Like, we cannot allow them.
We cannot allow them.
We cannot allow them. No more resources for my people.
I will not allow them. I promise.
Those resources.
You guys are not allowed.
Yeah. Say what can I do to help?
He says, I have many men and they're very brave, but I cannot spare them. The next fight will likely be our last. But Should hope survive, we must keep the gifts of Cronus available to us. These bodies we inhabit are not immortal, though they may appear so.
Wow.
Say,
That makes a lot of sense.
and you'll have to excuse me, but I'm not sure what it is you want me to do.
It says, retrieve the gifts of my fallen sons.
Do I have to spell it out for you? Do not allow them.
Do not allow the gifts of my fallen sons. No more resources for my people.
It says, to
No more.
the north is the site of our most recent battle. Retrieve as much as you can from there.
Ask him instead what's to the east across the bay.
I'm not sure how I would come to that question.
Yeah.
Unless you have some kind of psychic gift that you haven't told us about.
Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi, guys? What's the password?
He's on the Wi-Fi. He's on the Wi-Fi.
I say, certainly. And if I do this, you will tell us, or tell me what, or I guess the story of this place.
He says, you can ask for more than a story, my friend. Tell me, what do you wish to know?
Well, as I said, the most important thing is we came here chasing, hesitate to call him a man, a creature. If you could help us locate it so that we can dispatch it.
He says, from time to time, there have been travelers to this place. I assume that this man is the same. Should that be true, tracking him down would be difficult. However, I may be able to aid you.
In what way, then?
He says, few among the sons remember the old days. And truth be told, I was never much of an engineer. But I remember enough. I believe I have a device which could aid you.
All right. I guess I'll make that deal with one additional request. That me and my companions be given the supplies and equipment that we might need.
I thought he was going to ask for them to treat us well, but no.
No.
All right.
That's ridiculous.
I think that you are going to need to convince him with a might roll.
Might roll?
Yep.
He wants you to have sex with him, and then
You can,
You're going to need to rock his world.
you're going to need to rock all of his worlds.
So, am I
This is a difficulty 5 might roll.
am I performing some feat of strength here? What exactly am I
No,
trying to
you
do?
are just, exuding your confidence.
Exuding my confidence. All right.
exude, Kim, exude.
This sounds like something that Kevin would have done in the fucking previous thing where he kept exuding like pheromones and tracking himself.
I'll just make like
That would
8 of
be
myself, and then our collective exudations
Well, exude. Oh my gosh.
All right.
will saturate this area with confidence.
I will spend. I'll spend 4 might points.
Okay.
To 5, right?
Mhm.
That puts it down to a 3. Almost 50-50 chance. All right. Let's roll. Success.
Woo! There we go. All right. He the servitor like turns to regard the man in the machine, for a moment, and then turns back and like just gives you a nod.
Say, glad we could come to an understanding. I guess I'll see you when we return.
Mr. Roboto.
Arrogato.
All right. So the servitor like sort of like turns their back on you.
All right.
And, like returns to the position that they were in before.
I'll I guess leave the way I came.
I'll just get myself out. Yeah.
Do I just?
Sorry.
There's something else I should have been doing.
Do I just stand here?
All right. All right. Yeah. So as you walk back out, like a servitor kind of like leads you down a different path, and very soon you're standing in what appears to be like some kind of armory. There are like laser rifles and pistols and what seem to be like high-tech battle axes and cool shit like that. So like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
no, I mean
buffet,
this is
motherfucker.
obviously that like montage, right? Like kind of cool 80s sci-fi music comes on, and there's like scenes of me like trying every gun out, swinging the axe around.
I assume this was more like Men in Black, and you see all that, and then he's like, "You can have that tiny one over
Yeah,
there." And
this is the
this
one
is your
you can
option.
have.
You can
There's,
have
like,
the
This
auto hammer.
paperclip is yours.
Yeah.
The laser paperclip. Oh, God.
Put it down and like collapses the building.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess I'll grab a few rifles and
Is there anything that's like dinosaur sized? If you know what I'm talking
Like
about.
mounted cannons.
And like a roll of tape.
I'll have one T-Rex with lasers on it, please. Yes.
Yes, can I see the wildlife section of the armory, please?
I mean, there's a servitor there.
All
You
right.
don't see any like dinosaur cannons like lying around.
All right,
Yeah.
sure. But so I'll grab up a couple of small arms, right? Maybe enough laser rifles that everybody can have one, and a couple of future axes or laser swords, whatever it is.
There are like 3 of us, right?
No, but everybody
We'll have
else
to
can
arm
take
ourselves
like,
to the teeth.
Wander out with like several bags that are full of like guns and axes and shit.
Turn to the servitor and say,
Everyone's like-
we'll need a fast car. No time.
So I can take any rug in the house.
I'm gonna need some Hawaiian shirts and a lot of drugs.
So I'll turn to the servitor and say, could we perhaps be furnished with one of the armed beasts that I saw with Garnash?
So the servitor doesn't really like make any indication that they have seen or heard you, but they just sort of like turn and start walking down a different hallway.
All right, I'll take my
Carrying,
rifles
like,
and swords and follow him.
All right, so after not too long, you sort of step into what seems to be like some kind of stable. There are several dinosaurs there. There's also sort of clearly like a workshop. There are like clearly dinosaur accoutrement involving lasers, and there's a man sort of like standing there, and he like regards you. This is a son of Kronos. He regards you as you walk in, and he says, "What is it, lad?" Oh, lass.
I say, sorry, what was the name of the half machine, half dude?
Tor?
Haltor. I say, Haltor has asked me to go to the site of the recent battle to recover what we can of the Sons of Kronos, and I require some a beast as protection in case we run into any trouble. What can you recommend?
So the man sort of like turns towards glances towards the servitor and says, "My lord," and he looks at you for a moment and he says, "I do not think we can spare any of our beasts, but should
The
you be able to
robot man
provide
said
your
we
own?"
were to have everything we wanted.
I say, well, let me ask you this. We brought one ourselves. Do you by chance have any armor or cannon you could spare to mount on one we brought?
All right, so like the '80s music like turns up as his like smile widens.
Why didn't you just say so in the first place, sir?
All right, so later that evening, the a door on the side of the dome slides up, and the Ankylosaurus like walks out. What does its laser accoutrement look like, Aaron?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's such a good question. So, like, it's got like two large lasers on like one on each side, and then there's like a small kind of turret laser thing that's sitting up near the seats up at the top. And
the turret is on the tail.
No. I was coming to the tail.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
The tail has had like at least 5 of the power battle axes like taped to it.
So it's got power battle axe.
Yeah.
Shit on it.
Because I feel like having like laser guns on the tail would potentially be like a really terrible thing, whereas having power battle axes on the tail could only go right. Like, there's no way that could possibly go wrong.
All right, so like Oliver is standing there waiting for this dinosaur to come out, and what is his reaction as
it finally does?
Yeah, as the door like slides open and this beast like lumbers out, laden with laser weaponry.
So Oliver, like, I don't know, are we still in the montage of him setting it up in the first place? Because in my head, as soon as William comes out with his bejeweled beast, Oliver's just gonna be like, "All right, yeah," and like, just like really excited about it, like he did it.
Yeah,
he did. All right. So the guy, this engineer guy, like gives you like a knowing nod and says, "I wish you luck. May you meet his gaze with honor."
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Do the thing.
Exciting.
Do the thing, Mika.
No.
No. There you go.
Yeah. He clasps your hand.
All right. Glad we're friends now. So I guess as William and Oliver check out our dinosaur friend's new garb, I say, well, so before you get too excited, I promised the guy in charge that we would run a little errand for him. But
that's all you're gonna say. The guy in charge, the head honcho.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable.
Roboto?
I'm sure that he's just a normal guy.
Just your normal half robot, mostly dead guy that speaks through servitors. Yeah, you know the type.
Yeah. I think I used to play with little figurines that had one of them back on Earth Prime.
Yeah, all right, you get it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll kind of give him the whole spiel, what I saw and what it is we have to do as I hand out laser axes and laser rifles for everybody. Here you go. You get one of these. Everybody grab one of each.
All right.
All right. So, by way of my understanding, what is everyone armed with?
Might is used for everything, right?
Usually might is attack rolls.
Right, like might's attack rolls, meaning like there's no.
I think you can do speed for ranged attacks.
I'm slightly more speedy than I am mighty, and I'm not mighty like at all. So I'll definitely take the like laser rifle or something if you got one of those back. I think that's probably best for.
Yeah, I grabbed the laser rifle for everybody.
I will mention that there is, there is a laser rifle option. There is a cyber battle axe option, and there is a combination option as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, whatever that combination. You see, mean like a bayoneted rifle?
Right. I mean, if a bayonet were an axe, then
Axe
yes.
head that comes out of the top.
I mean,
and it's it's kind of used to as a sight to aim, but mostly it's a battle axe.
Yeah, I'm okay with that in this world. That's fine. I'm taking it. I will take the combination. Thank you. Thank you, Mika. How
William
did you know
is
just what I wanted.
It's what I always wanted. William is mostly manning the laser turret on the back of the dinosaur, but he's also thrown an axe and a laser rifle into a small pack in the seat behind him, just in case he's got to do the laser turret with one hand and a laser rifle with another, or things get real wild.
And he has the laser turret with one hand and axe with the other.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about that.
That's last ditch shit.
I got. I'll just take a regular rifle, because I also I have my fists and a little special surprise that I think will come up.
Is it more amphetamines?
This is pure cocaine. Just a fucking kilo of cocaine. A little surprise I wanted to save just for you.
Let's just say there's more to Mika than meets the eye.
Oh shit! Is it a truck? Are you a truck?
No. That's very offensive.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
I think you're supposed to call her a semi.
Oh, all right.
That's
yeah.
not better.
Are you a semi?
Not better at all.
A lorry? Is this a British thing?
No, that
a medieval British thing. Are you a buggy?
A little Bluetooth buggy?
I feel like we've gotten way off of
what you are.
Here.
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable with it.
So, Oliver, as this son of Kronos is turning to go, you notice a certain. Give me an intelligence roll, actually, to notice something about him.
Okay. Are you not telling me how hard the intelligence roll is?
It's going to be difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. Okay. Notice something about him.
Yeah.
All right. Then I would say that I will gladly use my get a hunch about someone's skill.
Okay.
That I have. The literal
good
skill I have. I don't know if I should double. I don't know if I can really double that also with my sensing emotions. I feel like it's kind of one or the other.
So what does get a hunch do? You just spend points and you get a hunch?
No, I mean it's a skill. It's a skill that I'm saying I could use to lower the step.
So you have a skill that's called get a hunch, and you have a skill that's called discern demeanor?
So I have a skill that's called sense emotions / discern disposition, and I have another skill called get a hunch about someone. I have both those skills, and I'm trained.
All right, sure. Get a hunch.
All right. I'm going to try and get a hunch about this guy. And whatever, I'm going to spend 1 because I have an edge of 2. Spend 1.
Okay.
Lower this to a 1. I'll probably fail anyway. All right, I did not fail.
Okay. So as you look at him, you can see that he's got one of his hands is obviously been replaced with some kind of mechanic tool thing, right? Probably got it's like a welder now, but he could replace it with a hammer or whatever. It's for working on shit, because he's a working on shit guy. But it doesn't seem to be working. You can see that it's it looks like it's been burned out or something.
Okay. Is there anything around here that looks like he could actually work on it? Is there stuff in disrepair that needs his services?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Are there other things that could be repaired?
Yeah, I'm saying are there things here that I imagine that's his job to work on, but he's just not because he's all fucked up.
It's hard to tell. A lot of stuff is in some state of disrepair or re-repair.
I say friend, in a thick Tucalan accent that I'm too tired to do. I say friend, perhaps this son of Cronus here, and I like gesture to Mika. I say, could take a look at your hand or arm or.
So like he
depending.
Why are
like
you
he
throwing
like
me under the
turns-
bus? I don't know shit.
Yeah,
Well-
Mika's not like a repair person.
Also, I'm dangerously low on intelligence points right now.
Well, no, I'll do the work. I figured if the son
So,
of
like-
Cronus was looking at it, he'd
So like he like freezes and like turns slowly around, like his gaze resting upon you, as his hand like goes to like this like gigantic like combating knife on his belt. And he says, "Did you address me?"
I say, pardon him, my friend. He has some expertise, and he's simply offering his services to perhaps repair your tool there.
He like glances down, and he says, "All right." And the idiot just rises. All right. So Nick, you want to try to repair his hand?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So
mean,
basically, he can help you do it. He just can't do it himself because like
His
he's
hand.
down a hand.
Okay.
So, but like, still, you'll need to make an intelligence check here for like to repair mechanical devices.
Okay, that's fine.
Difficulty
I'm
5.
okay. So I'm. You're gonna say no, but I'm really good at anatomy and physiology. So can
No,
I
that's
make
fine.
sure that I do this without like damaging his actual limb and whatnot?
Yeah, that can help you. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I fixed your hand. No, wait, what? Am I wrong?
Okay. So you said it was a 5.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll knock it down to a 4 with that, and whatever. I got lots to spend. I'm just thinking. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I've got that's going to help me there. I don't think so because I got rid of all my really cool tech stuff on my first. In our first world, I had a thing that was like anytime you touch a machine, you're a step better at dealing with it. Anywho, I don't really think anything else is gonna help me here. So the effort means that's how many times I could decrease it just by spending, right?
Yep.
And every time I spend down a step, I have to spend 3, and the edge only applies to the first spend. Is that the way it works? Anybody? Aaron, you're always good at this.
Sorry, say again.
Edge only. The first time you want to lower it using your points, you can subtract your edge. But if you
That's what I'm
want,
saying. The edge only applies to the first spend out of
Yeah,
how many
so
effort
think of-
spends I'm going to do.
Think of effort as being like a single spend that you can do in different amounts. So you could do like a 3 effort spend that is 3 points for the first level, 2 points for the second level, and 1 point for the third, right? So 6 points. You can take your edge off of that spend. You could also do a 2-level effort spend and take your edge off of that. You just can only do 1 effort spend, and your edge affects that spend. I think that's a better way of looking at it than like, I'm going to do effort once, and then I'm going to do effort again, and then I'm going to do effort
but if I'm
again.
doing a 2 effort spend and I have 2 edge, I'm still going to end up spending
3.
4.
Should be 3, right? Because it's 3 for the first, 2 for the second. So it's 5 is a 2 effort spend, and then you have 2 edge, so that takes 2 off of it, so it's 3.
Oh, 5 is only a 2 effort spend. Okay. All right. I'm taking your word for it. I'm doing that. I'm going to knock it down to a 2. I'll spend all that intelligence. My God. Well, that didn't go.
All right. Well,
All right there, boss man.
don't worry, you still get something.
Well, I mean, that's man. Down from a 5. And,
can't you can re-roll on it with an XP, can't you?
That's true.
Oh, all right, fine. I'll fucking re-roll it. I got extra XP.
Oh my
It didn't
God.
work.
Well, that's fine. You're sorry. You knocked it down to a 2, or
I
what?
knocked it down to a 2. It's not good enough.
And you
that's-
keep going.
I've only rolled 3 times today, and they were all.
And spend another XP.
Oh God! All right, fine, whatever. I'll spend an XP. I hesitate to point it out to our DM, but although this session involved quite a large amount of talking, I passed after spending another XP. I don't even know if you can do that, but
we haven't had any intrusions. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, intrusions is what I was going to say. We haven't had any intrusions, and I don't remember. You were trying to say something the other day about how like we're supposed to have narrative chances to do intrusions, but
no. I'm supposed to give you some narrative control by offering intrusions, and yeah, I definitely didn't do that today. So I meant to, but it didn't really happen.
Yeah, it happens.
We'll let it slide for a couple XP.
Specifically, like a couple XP for Oliver, because
he badly needs it. No, didn't you say that you have like 11 XP saved up or something like that?
When you guys said I had to spend down.
I think you actually technically you're not really supposed to have more than 10 XP like sitting around.
Yeah, I spent way down half of the like 11 that I had, but I didn't get rid of all of it because I knew there was something else. Anyway,
I think
go ahead. I finally passed.
You should have like 2 or 3 in case you need a reroll here or there.
All right, so I rerolled a second time. I passed. Oliver like fumbling with the thing, like a little bit nervous about being allowed to work on this alien cybernetic technology attached to this guy's arm. Like almost messes it up, but manages to pull it out at the end.
All right. So yeah. Mika, he like definitely fucks it up, but then like, he fixes it and the guy doesn't really seem to notice.
Look over there. Oh God.
It's taking a selfie and then like drops the phone inside of the arm, and it's bad.
All right, so he like nods appreciatively and he says this service demands respect, and he like raises his hand in front of him. In
front of Oliver?
Yeah.
Get in there, bud. Make
a
ahead. Friend.
Go ahead, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. So as you engage with him, this like huge paw, you can tell that like you can read the situation enough to know that this is a test, right, of valor at the very least, right? If this embrace is good enough, then you will truly have this man's respect.
Okay. Should I clasp as hard as I can and roll some might and see if I can impress him with that?
Yeah, so difficulty 4 might check.
Difficulty 4 might check. All right.
You got this. You got this, Oliver.
Or his robotic hand crushes yours into like
just
a tiny...
turn into the bear hand and give him a good bear, bear clutch.
Channel the bear.
I'm not sure that I can really stretch any of these things into a might.
The memories of being a bear floods through Oliver's memories.
I mean, would you say that my perception about what he wants helps me like do it more efficiently? No. Yeah,
I'm having a hard time justifying that.
I could assess the danger of what would happen if I don't pass the test.
Let's see.
All right, whatever. I'm gonna spend some might. Let me go to my sheet. Sorry, let me blow through some of this might that I have. You said it was a 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been rolling pretty terribly, so I'm gonna knock it down 2. The whole one. I'm gonna spend a bunch of edge there. I mean, points. All right. Well, this time I didn't need it, but I do it.
Okay.
17.
All right. So Oliver like steps forward and like grabs his hand. And he's like, "Oh," and he says, "You have the might of that few slaves possess. Take this boon, pass it to your ancestors." And he like reaches into his, somewhere back there and like hands you something. So it appears to be it's a fine chain with some kind of like iron ring on it.
Okay. I look appropriately amazed and grateful, which I mean I am.
Okay.
And like, you know, but like in order to make sure I don't do the rude thing, like I don't unclasp his hand until he unclasps mine.
Yeah,
basically. And then
Oh, this is a
and then
dangerous game to play.
I like
Oliver just holds on. He's like thrashing him around the room, like slamming him to it.
I say, you know, my lord or whatever. I say, you know, you do me great honor. May your hand carry you into battle, and may you meet his gaze with honor, or whatever the fuck it is.
All right, he gives a knowing nod.
All right, and then like as soon as he starts to turn away, I turn around to Mika and William, and I'm like, look what I got, motherfuckers! I got his ring. Oh, sorry, sir. Go with his gaze.
And we all do this at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. And 80s music plays.
Yeah. So you can tell as you hold this device that this will make safe. When I say make safe, this will allow you basically if you attach this device to a Cypher, it will it'll allow you to carry an extra on you.
The ring?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean it's that kind of ring? Like, I thought you meant like a ring for my finger.
Mm-hmm.
What other kind of ring is there?
Oh, I thought you were implying it was more like I thought you were implying it was more like a key ring or something to like something like to put the Cypher on the ring. I thought that's what you were implying.
No, I mean, so right. As it nears a Cypher, it kind of like attracts.
And it will let me carry an additional
So
one?
yeah, so it essentially will nullify the negative effects of one Cypher, you know, as long as it's attached.
But it is a Cypher.
It is an artifact.
Oh, it's an artifact.
I mean, that's super cool. I've never even gotten remotely close to my Cypher limit, which I think is based on your rank, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm just.
It was a problem.
Just guessing.
It was a problem for Alex last session. He had to like try to get rid of a Cypher because he was over. I think most of us.
This thing's super cool, but my Cypher limit's already 3, and I think I have ways to blow it up.
So additionally, it will, if it's attached to a Cypher and you use it, it will. There's a chance that the Cypher will not be used up. But every time you transfer a Cypher onto or off of it, you have to make a roll, and on a 1 out of 20, it is depleted, which means it's unusable for.
Yeah. Okay.
Could have almost had like infinite amphetamines if we had found this thing.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Fuck. We've made some mistakes.
That box was deep. Didn't just
could have been
just up into
this whole campaign could have been us like high off of Nazi amphetamines.
Is it not? Is that not what this is?
I'm. You're talking about the characters?
Yeah, the characters.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's
Kevin just
Did Kevin freeze? Because that'd be really appropriate.
I heard it all right, and then he froze in kind of a weird pose.
Yeah. And the best part is it's definitely coming through on Twitch. Like that's where we live right now. Well, does someone else want to take us out?
I mean, I assume we were basically done. So
that's what I mean.
My God, that pose is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Listen, someone
want
to take us
the
out.
meeting's ending. So yeah. Thanks for joining us on Live from Beyond, the Distant Shore episode something, probably like 4 or 5 already. If you're watching us on
number
Twitch,
number 3.
This is only our 3rd session?
Yeah, I think so.
I missed one last week.
Chapter 3, episode 3.
All right, that seems unlikely, but all right, I'll take it. If you're watching us argue about this on Twitch, then go watch the YouTube where maybe we've edited it out. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then come watch us talk about stupid shit on Twitch. The unedited version's more fun. But all those sites / Live from Beyond, and come check us out Tuesdays at 7:30 Eastern. And thanks for watching.